First contact. The vast emptiness of space stretched out before Captain Maya Chen as she guided her small exploration vessel through the asteroid belt of a distant solar system. Her mission was simple: survey the belt for valuable minerals and return the data to Earth. But Maya had always hoped for something more, a discovery that would change humanity's understanding of the universe. Little did she know today would be that day. As Maya expertly maneuvered between the tumbling space rocks, a flash of light caught her eye. At first, she dismissed it as sunlight reflecting off a particularly shiny asteroid. But as she drew closer, her heart began to race. The object was clearly artificial, a sleek, silvery craft unlike anything humanity had ever constructed. "Holy shit," Maya whispered, her hands trembling as she brought her ship alongside the alien vessel. It was badly damaged, with gashes torn in its hull and debris floating around it. Maya's training kicked in, and she began scanning for signs of life. To her amazement, a single faint life sign pulsed within the wreckage. Maya knew the risks. First contact protocols were clear: observe and report, do not engage. But as she stared at that flickering life sign, she couldn't bring herself to simply watch and wait for backup. Someone was in there dying. Human or not, Maya couldn't let that happen. With a deep breath, she sealed her spacesuit and prepared for EVA. "Sorry, mission control," she muttered as she disabled her ship's transmitter. "You can court-martial me later." Pushing off from her airlock, Maya glided through the debris field towards the alien craft. Up close, its design was even more breathtaking. Organic curves blended seamlessly with geometric precision. Whatever species built this ship was far beyond humanity's current capabilities. Maya found a tear in the hull large enough to squeeze through. The interior was dark, lit only by occasional sparks from damaged systems. She swept her flashlight around, taking in the strange architecture and unfamiliar technology. A soft whimper drew her attention. In a far corner, partially pinned beneath a fallen bulkhead, was a small humanoid figure. Maya approached cautiously, her heart pounding. The alien child, for it was clearly a juvenile of its species, looked up at Maya with wide, silver eyes. Its skin was a pale lavender, with delicate patterns swirling across its surface. Despite its alien features, the fear and pain in its expression were unmistakable. "It's okay," Maya said softly, knowing the alien couldn't understand her words, but hoping her tone would be soothing. "I'm here to help." She carefully lifted the debris pinning the alien, grunting with the effort. The child crawled free, then collapsed into Maya's arms, trembling. Maya was struck by how light it felt, how fragile. A series of rapid beeps from her suit's computer snapped Maya back to reality. The alien ship's systems were failing. In minutes, it would explode. There was no time for hesitation. Maya scooped up the alien child and pushed off towards her ship. Behind her, the alien vessel shuddered. She had seconds left. With a final burst of speed, Maya threw herself and her precious cargo through her airlock. The door sealed shut just as a massive explosion rocked her small craft. The alien ship was gone, leaving only scattered debris. Maya lay on the floor of her airlock, gasping for breath. The alien child clung to her, its small form shaking. As the adrenaline faded, the enormity of what she'd just done began to sink in. She, Maya Chen, had just made first contact with an alien species. She had rescued one of them, breaking about a dozen international laws and protocols in the process. And now, she had an injured alien child aboard her ship with no idea what to do next. "What the hell have I gotten myself into?" Maya muttered. Over the next few days, as Maya nursed the alien child back to health, she found herself developing a deep bond with the strange creature. She named it Nova, after the bright explosion that had brought them together. Nova proved to be highly intelligent, quickly picking up bits of English and communicating through a mix of gestures and simple words. Maya learned that Nova's ship had been attacked by some unknown force and that the child was the sole survivor. But as Maya's ship drew closer to Earth, she realized the true scope of the danger they both faced. Nova wasn't just any alien. The child possessed incredible abilities that defied explanation. Maya had seen Nova manipulate energy fields, move objects with its mind, and even perceive glimpses of possible futures. If the wrong people got their hands on Nova, the consequences could be catastrophic. Maya knew she couldn't simply hand the child over to the authorities. She had to protect Nova, no matter the cost. As Earth loomed large in her viewscreen, Maya made a decision that would change the course of human history. Instead of heading for the main spaceport, she plotted a course for a remote landing site. She would go into hiding with Nova, keeping the alien child safe while trying to uncover the truth behind the attack on Nova's ship. "Hang on, kiddo," Maya said, giving Nova's shoulder a gentle squeeze. "Our adventure is just beginning." Nova looked up at her with those bright silver eyes and smiled. In that moment, Maya knew she had made the right choice. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, human and alien united against the unknown. As Maya's ship entered Earth's atmosphere, alarms began blaring. Multiple vehicles were on an intercept course. Someone knew they were coming. Maya's mind raced. How had they been detected so quickly? Who was after them? With skilled piloting and more than a little luck, Maya managed to lose their pursuers in a dangerous game of cat and mouse through a heavy storm system. They touched down in a dense forest, the ship's cloaking technology hiding them from prying eyes. Maya quickly gathered emergency supplies and led Nova into the woods. As they hiked through the underbrush, Maya's mind whirled with questions. Who had attacked Nova's people? Why were they so desperate to get their hands on the alien child? And most importantly, who could they trust? One thing was certain, Maya's life would never be the same. She had saved Nova, but in doing so, she had stumbled upon a secret that threatened to turn her entire world upside down. As night fell and they made camp in a hidden cave, Maya pulled Nova close. "I don't know what's going to happen," she said softly, "but I promise I'll keep you safe. We're in this together now." Nova snuggled against her, a soft glow emanating from the alien's skin, a sign of contentment Maya had learned. Whatever the future held, this unlikely pair, human and alien, would face it side by side. On the run. The dense forest canopy provided welcome cover as Maya and Nova made their way through the underbrush. It had been 3 days since their daring escape from the pursuing ships, and Maya's nerves were frayed to the breaking point. Every snapping twig made her flinch. Every distant sound had her reaching for the makeshift weapon she'd fashioned from a sturdy branch. Nova, on the other hand, seemed to be thriving in the wilderness. The alien child darted from tree to tree, examining leaves and insects with unbridled curiosity. Maya couldn't help but smile, despite their dire situation. Nova's wonder at the simplest things was a constant reminder of why she had risked everything to protect this remarkable being. As they paused to rest by a bubbling stream, Maya took stock of their supplies. Food was running low, and she knew they couldn't stay in the wilderness forever. They needed a plan, somewhere to go, someone to trust. "Nova," Maya said gently, drawing the alien's attention away from a colorful butterfly. "We need to find help. Do you understand? Someone who can protect us both." Nova's silver eyes met Maya's, a flicker of understanding passing between them. The alien child had been learning English at an astonishing rate, but complex concepts were still difficult to convey. Suddenly, Nova's head snapped up, eyes wide with alarm. Before Maya could react, the alien tackled her to the ground. A split second later, a bolt of energy sizzled through the air where they had been standing, leaving a scorched mark on a nearby tree. "There they are," a gruff voice shouted. "Don't let them escape." Maya's heart pounded as she scrambled to her feet, pulling Nova along. They ran blindly through the forest, branches whipping at their faces. Behind them, she could hear the heavy footsteps of their pursuers and the crackle of energy weapons. As they burst into a small clearing, Maya's hope plummeted. They were surrounded on all sides by armed figures in sleek, black body armor. The insignia on their shoulders was unfamiliar, not any government or military organization Maya recognized. "Stand down and hand over the alien," one of the figures demanded, his weapon trained on Maya's chest. "You have no idea what you're dealing with." Maya pushed Nova behind her, shielding the child with her body. "I know exactly what I'm dealing with," she spat. "A bunch of cowards trying to kidnap an innocent kid. You'll have to go through me first." The leader chuckled darkly. "That can be arranged." Just as Maya braced herself for the worst, a blinding light filled the clearing. Nova had stepped out from behind her, the alien's small body glowing with an intense, otherworldly energy. The armed figures stumbled back, shielding their eyes. In that moment of confusion, a new voice rang out. "Everyone, freeze. Hands where I can see them." Maya blinked the spots from her vision to see a group of people emerging from the trees. They wore simple clothing, not uniforms, but moved with military precision. Their leader, a tall woman with close-cropped silver hair, radiated authority. "Commander Zara Vega, Earth Resistance," the woman announced. "Captain Chen, we've been looking for you." Maya's mind reeled. Earth Resistance. What the hell was going on? Before she could formulate a response, chaos erupted. The black-clad figures opened fire on the newcomers, filling the air with energy bolts. Maya dove for cover, pulling Nova down with her. The battle was intense but brief. The resistance fighters moved with incredible skill and coordination, quickly overwhelming their opponents. Within minutes, the clearing fell silent. Commander Vega approached Maya, holstering her weapon. "Sorry about the dramatic entrance. We've been tracking you since you went off the grid. Looks like we got here just in time." Maya stood slowly, keeping Nova close. "I appreciate the help, but I have about 1,000,000 questions right now. Starting with, who the hell are you people?" Zara's expression turned grim. "We're the ones trying to save humanity from a threat most people don't even know exists. And that little one you're protecting, they're at the center of it all." As if on cue, Nova tugged at Maya's sleeve, silver eyes wide with a mixture of fear and excitement. The alien pointed at Zara, then at its own chest, making a connection gesture Maya had come to recognize. "Friend," Nova said simply, the word clear despite its alien accent. Maya looked from Nova to Zara, her mind racing. Every instinct told her not to trust anyone, to keep running and protect Nova on her own. But deep down, she knew they couldn't survive alone forever. Sometimes you had to take a leap of faith. "All right," Maya said finally. "I'm listening. But if I get even a hint that you mean to harm Nova, I swear I'll..." Zara held up a hand, cutting her off. "You have my word, Captain. We're here to protect you both, but we need to move. It won't take long for reinforcements to arrive." As they hurried through the forest to a hidden transport, Zara filled Maya in on the basics. The Earth Resistance was a covert organization formed to combat a secret alien infiltration of Earth's governments and major corporations. These infiltrators were after something specific: children like Nova, with latent psychic abilities that could be weaponized. "We've suspected for years that certain factions were experimenting with human-alien hybrids," Zara explained as their transport lifted off. "But Nova here, pure alien, with abilities we've only theorized about. You stumbling upon that crashed ship might have just changed the course of this war." Maya's head spun with the implications. She looked down at Nova, who had fallen asleep with its head in her lap. This small, innocent being held the key to humanity's future. The weight of that responsibility was staggering. As the transport soared over the darkening landscape, Maya made a silent vow. No matter what happened, no matter what secrets they uncovered, she would protect Nova. Not just for the sake of humanity, but for the bond they had forged, a connection that transcended species and worlds. The journey to the Resistance's hidden base was tense, filled with evasive maneuvers to shake any potential pursuit. Maya used the time to learn more about their situation from Zara and her team. The alien infiltrators, known as the Shadowkin, had been manipulating human society for decades. They possessed limited shape-shifting abilities, allowing them to assume human form and infiltrate key positions of power. Their goal was to weaken Earth from within, preparing for a full-scale invasion. But why? Maya asked, frustration evident in her voice. Why go to all this trouble? If their technology is so advanced, why not just attack outright? Zora's expression darkened. Resources. Not the kind you're thinking of, not oil or minerals. They're after human psychic potential. Turns out, our species has a unique quirk in our brains. With the right enhancements, humans can develop abilities similar to Nova's. The Shadowkin want to turn us into living weapons. Maya felt sick. She looked down at Nova, still peacefully asleep, and couldn't imagine anyone trying to weaponize such a gentle being. As dawn broke, their transport descended into a hidden valley. A sophisticated holographic camouflage shimmered and parted, revealing a sprawling underground complex. "Welcome to Haven," Zara announced as they disembarked. "One of the last truly free places on Earth." Maya's eyes widened as she took in the bustling facility. People of all ages and backgrounds hurried about, some in lab coats, others in tactical gear. It was a stark contrast to the sterile, controlled environments she was used to in her military career. Nova, now awake, clung to Maya's hand, but looked around with obvious excitement. The alien child seemed to sense the energy of the place, a beacon of hope in a world gone mad. Zara led them to a secure briefing room where a diverse group awaited them. Maya recognized some of the faces from news reports, a renowned scientist, a former intelligence officer, even a celebrity activist. All had supposedly died or disappeared over the past few years. "I know this is a lot to take in," Zara said, addressing the room. "But with Nova's abilities and Captain Chen's first-hand experience with alien technology, we might finally have a chance to turn the tide." As the briefing began, Maya's mind raced. She had stumbled into something far bigger than she could have imagined. The fate of humanity might very well rest on her shoulders and on the small alien child whose hand she held tightly in her own. One thing was certain, their adventure was far from over. In fact, it was only just beginning. Part 3. Uncovering the Truth. The following weeks were a whirlwind of activity as Maya and Nova integrated into life at Haven. The base was a hive of innovation and resistance, with scientists working alongside soldiers to develop new technologies to combat the Shadowkin threat. Maya threw herself into the work, sharing everything she had learned about the alien ship and Nova's abilities. The researchers were particularly fascinated by Nova's capacity for energy manipulation and precognition. They developed a series of tests to help the alien child hone these skills, always under Maya's watchful eye to ensure Nova wasn't pushed too hard. As for Nova, the alien thrived in this new environment. Surrounded by humans who accepted its differences, Nova's English improved rapidly, and its powers grew more controlled. Maya watched with pride as Nova levitated objects with pinpoint precision and provided glimpses of possible futures that helped the Resistance stay one step ahead of their enemies. But it was during one of these precognitive sessions that as Maya watched Nova's silver eyes glow with an otherworldly light during another precognitive session, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the verge of a major breakthrough. The alien child's visions had become more vivid and detailed, providing crucial intelligence that had already saved countless lives. "I see, a hidden place," Nova said, its voice taking on an ethereal quality. "Deep beneath the earth. There are others like me there, but they're afraid. They're being hurt." Maya's blood ran cold. She exchanged a worried glance with Zara, who was monitoring the session. "Can you tell us where this place is, Nova?" Zara asked gently. Nova's brow furrowed in concentration. "I see, mountains, snow, a symbol, like a bird with sharp claws." Zara's eyes widened in recognition. "The Rocky Mountains. And that symbol, it's got to be Talon Industries. We've suspected they were involved with the Shadowkin, but we never had proof." Maya felt a surge of determination. Then let's get that proof. If there are more aliens being held captive and experimented on, we need to save them. As they began planning a covert operation to infiltrate the Talon Industries facility, Maya couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and dread. They were finally taking the fight to the enemy, but the risks were enormous. The team assembled for the mission was a motley crew of ex-military, hackers, and scientists. Maya insisted on going despite Zora's objections. "Nova trusts me," she argued. "If there are other aliens there, we'll need that trust." As they geared up, Maya knelt beside Nova. "I need you to stay here where it's safe," she said softly. "I promise I'll come back." Nova's silver eyes shimmered with unshed tears. "Be careful, Maya. I saw danger, but also hope." Maya hugged the alien child tightly, marveling at how this strange being from the stars had become the most important thing in her life. The journey to the Rocky Mountains was tense, filled with close calls as they evaded Shadowkin patrols. Using Nova's vision and advanced resistance tech, they located the hidden Talon facility buried deep within a mountain. Infiltrating the complex was like something out of a spy thriller. Maya's heart pounded as they slipped past security systems and guards, making their way deeper into the facility. What they found chilled them to the bone. Rows upon rows of stasis pods lined the walls, each containing a different alien species. Some were clearly related to Nova, while others were utterly bizarre. Holographic displays showed ongoing experiments, genetic manipulations designed to unlock and enhance psychic abilities. "This is bigger than we thought," Zora whispered. "They're not just after human psychics. They're trying to create some kind of super soldier program." As they downloaded crucial data and prepared to free the captive aliens, alarms suddenly blared. They had been discovered. "Time to improvise," Maya shouted, drawing her weapon. "Zora, get that data out. I'll hold them off." What followed was a chaotic firefight through the twisting corridors of the facility. Maya's military training kicked in as she provided cover fire, allowing her team to fall back with the rescued aliens. But as she turned to follow, a stray energy blast caught her in the leg. Maya stumbled, crying out in pain. As she looked up, she found herself face to face with a tall, imposing figure. His features seemed to shift and blur, never quite settling on a single form. "Captain Chen," the figure said, his voice an unnatural hiss. "I've so looked forward to meeting you. You've caused us quite a bit of trouble." Maya's blood ran cold as she realized she was face to face with a high-ranking Shadowkin. She raised her weapon, but with lightning-fast reflexes, the alien knocked it from her grasp. Now, the Shadowkin chided. "Let's not make this messy. You have something we want," the child. "Tell us where it is, and we might let you live." Maya glared defiantly at the alien. "I'll die before I let you hurt Nova." The Shadowkin's face twisted into a cruel smile. "That can be arranged." Just as the alien reached for her, the air crackled with energy. A blinding light filled the corridor, and Maya heard the Shadowkin shriek in pain. As her vision cleared, she gasped in shock. Nova stood there, small body radiating with power, eyes blazing like twin suns. Somehow, the alien child had sensed Maya was in danger and had found a way to reach her. "Don't touch my friend," Nova said, voice echoing with otherworldly force. What happened next was like something out of a dream. Nova's powers lashed out, not just at the Shadowkin leader, but at the very fabric of reality around them. Time and space seemed to warp and bend. Maya felt herself being lifted, cradled in an invisible embrace. The world blurred around them as Nova somehow transported them both back to the Resistance transport. As they lifted off, leaving the smoldering ruins of the Talon facility behind, Maya pulled Nova into a fierce hug. "Thank you," she whispered. "You saved me." Nova smiled up at her. "We save each other. That's what family does." As the transport soared into the night sky, Maya realized that their victory had come at a cost. The Shadowkin now knew the full extent of Nova's powers. The war was about to escalate to a whole new level. But looking at the rescued aliens, at her team, and at Nova's trusting face, Maya felt a surge of hope. Together, they had a fighting chance, and she would stop at nothing to protect her newfound family and the future of both their species. The data they had stolen from the Talon facility would change everything. As they raced back to Haven, Maya knew that the real battle was just beginning. But with Nova by her side, she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Unlikely allies. The mood at Haven was a mix of celebration and grim determination in the wake of the Talon facility raid. The rescued aliens were a wealth of information, confirming the Resistance's worst fears about the scope of the Shadowkin's plans. But they also brought hope. Each possessed unique abilities that could turn the tide of the war. Maya watched with pride as Nova took on the role of ambassador, helping the newly freed aliens acclimate to their surroundings. The bond between them was obvious, a shared trauma and resilience that transcended species. As Zara and her team pored over the stolen data, a troubling picture emerged. The Shadowkin's infiltration went deeper than anyone had imagined, reaching the highest levels of government and industry. Worse, they were in the final stages of a plan to amplify Earth's psychic potential, a process that would kill millions and leave the survivors as puppets for the alien invaders. "We need to take the fight to them," Maya argued during a strategy session. "Hit them hard before they can implement this plan." Zara shook her head. "We don't have the numbers or the firepower. Even with our new alien allies, we're outnumbered and outgunned." A contemplative silence fell over the room. Then Nova spoke up, its voice soft but clear. "We don't fight alone. I've seen others. Humans who resist the darkness, even if they don't know what it is. We need to find them." Maya felt a surge of pride at Nova's wisdom. The kid's right. There have to be other resistance groups out there, people who've noticed things aren't right. We need to unite them. And so began a daring plan to create a global network of resistance fighters. Using Nova's precognitive abilities and the Resistance's hacking skills, they identified key individuals and groups around the world who were already pushing back against Shadowkin influence, even if they didn't realize the true nature of their enemy. Maya found herself leading a series of covert missions to recruit these unlikely allies. From a team of outcast hackers in Tokyo to a group of psychic monks hidden in the Himalayas, each new addition brought unique skills and perspectives to their cause. One encounter stood out in particular. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, they sought out a reclusive scientist named Dr. Samantha Reyes. Rumors spoke of her groundbreaking work in human potential and her sudden disappearance from the scientific community years ago. As Maya's team hacked their way through the dense jungle, Nova suddenly froze, eyes wide with alarm. "Danger," the alien child whispered, but also something familiar. They found Dr. Reyes' hidden lab under attack by Shadowkin forces. Without hesitation, Maya led her team into the fray. The battle was intense, with energy weapons scorching the lush canopy around them. Maya fought with everything she had, driven by a sense that this scientist was key to their cause. In the midst of the chaos, Maya found herself back-to-back with Dr. Reyes, who wielded some kind of prototype energy weapon with surprising skill. "Nice moves for a scientist," Maya quipped as she took down another Shadowkin trooper. Reyes smirked. "I've picked up a few things since going off the grid. Now, want to tell me who you are and why I shouldn't consider you just another threat?" Before Maya could respond, Nova appeared between them, its small body glowing with power. The alien child locked eyes with Dr. Reyes, and an unspoken understanding passed between them. "Incredible," Reyes breathed. "You're like them, but pure, untainted." With Nova's help, they drove off the Shadowkin attack. As the dust settled, Dr. Reyes revealed the true nature of her work. She had been on the verge of unlocking human psychic potential through purely technological means, no alien hybridization required. The Shadowkin had tried to recruit her, and when she refused, they had tried to eliminate her. Your research could be the key to fighting them on equal footing, Maya realized. Will you join us? Dr. Reyes looked from Maya to Nova, a fierce determination in her eyes. Try and stop me. As their alliance grew, so did their understanding of the enemy. The Shadowkin, they learned, were not a natural species, but rather the result of ancient genetic experiments gone wrong. They were galactic parasites, seeking out psychically gifted species to enhance their own dwindling powers. Humanity was their latest target, but if they weren't stopped, countless other worlds would fall. The final piece of the puzzle came from an unexpected source. During a raid on a Shadowkin communications hub, they intercepted a transmission from a faction of the aliens who opposed the invasion. These Lightbringers, as they called themselves, offered an alliance. The decision to trust these alien rebels was not made lightly. Maya spent long hours debating the risks with Zara and the other resistance leaders. In the end, it was Nova who convinced them. They're like me, the alien child said simply. Lost, scared, wanting to help. And so, in a secret meeting on neutral ground, a space station orbiting Jupiter, humanity's defenders came face to face with their unlikely alien allies. The Lightbringers were awe-inspiring beings of pure energy, their true forms too radiant for human eyes. Their leader, a being who called itself Helios, explained the full scope of the threat. The Shadowkin will not stop with Earth. If they succeed here, they will have the strength to sweep across the galaxy. Countless worlds will fall. Maya stepped forward, Nova's hand clasped tightly in her own. She felt the weight of history on her shoulders as she spoke. Then let's make sure they don't succeed. Together, we'll show them the true strength of unity. As human, alien, and hybrid stood side by side, Maya allowed herself a moment of hope. The road ahead would be difficult, filled with sacrifice and hard choices. But looking at the determination on every face, human and alien alike, she knew they had a fighting chance. The final battle for Earth's future loomed on the horizon. Maya hugged Nova close, silently vowing to create a world where her adopted alien child could live free from fear. Whatever the cost, they would write a new chapter in the history of both their species. As the unlikely allies began to plan their counteroffensive, Maya felt a swell of pride. This was humanity at its best, resourceful, compassionate, and unbreakable in the face of overwhelming odds. The Shadowkin had no idea what they were in for. Part 5, the final stand. The day of reckoning had arrived. After months of preparation, gathering allies, and pushing their abilities to the limit, the united forces of humanity and their alien allies were ready to launch their assault on the Shadowkin's main base of operations. Hidden beneath the ice of Antarctica, the massive alien complex served as the focal point for their plan to amplify Earth's psychic field. If they weren't stopped, billions would die, and those who survived would be little more than psychic batteries for the Shadowkin war machine. Maya stood on the bridge of the Lightbringer flagship, a vessel of crystalline beauty that hummed with otherworldly energy. Nova was by her side, the alien child's silver eyes filled with a mixture of determination and fear. You don't have to come on this mission, Maya said softly, kneeling to meet Nova's gaze. You've already done so much. You could stay back, where it's safe. Nova shook its head, a sad smile on its face. My place is with you, Maya. Always. Maya's heart swelled with pride and love. She hugged Nova tightly, marveling at how this strange being from the stars had become the most important thing in her universe. Zara's voice crackled over the comms, breaking the moment. All teams, prepare for drop. This is it, people. No pressure, but the fate of our world, hell, our whole galaxy, rests on this mission. Let's make it count. As the fleet of human and Lightbringer ships descended through the howling Antarctic winds, Maya went over the plan one final time. Dr. Reyes and her team would disable the psychic amplifier, while Zara led the main assault on the Shadowkin defenses. Maya, Nova, and a small strike team had the most crucial and dangerous task, confronting the Shadowkin leadership and ending this war once and for all. The battle erupted with earth-shaking force. Energy weapons lit up the sky, turning night to day. Maya's strike team fought their way through waves of Shadowkin troops, their movements perfectly synchronized thanks to months of grueling training. Nova's powers were a sight to behold. The alien child wielded energy like a master artist, creating shields to protect their allies and lashing out with precise strikes that left Shadowkin soldiers unconscious but alive. As they pushed deeper into the complex, Maya couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. The technology here was like nothing she had ever seen, a fusion of biological and mechanical engineering that defied human understanding. Finally, they reached the central chamber. Maya's breath caught in her throat as she took in the scene. A massive, pulsing crystal dominated the room, tendrils of dark energy radiating outward. And there, merged with the crystal's structure, was the Shadowkin Overlord, a being of such malevolent power that it hurt to look directly at it. So, the Overlord's voice boomed in their minds, dripping with disdain. The primitives have come to play hero. How quaint. Maya stepped forward, her voice steady despite her racing heart. It's over. We know what you are, a parasitic race clinging to stolen power. We're here to end this, once and for all. The Overlord laughed, a sound like shattering glass. Foolish human. We are the next step in evolution. Resisting us is resisting the inevitable march of progress. You're wrong, Nova said, its small voice somehow carrying over the psychic maelstrom. Evolution isn't about domination. It's about adaptation, cooperation. You've forgotten that, lost in your hunger for power. The Overlord's form writhed in fury. Insolent child. You could have been the key to our ascension. Now, you'll be the first to fall. A blast of pure psychic energy erupted from the crystal, aimed directly at Nova. Maya dove without hesitation, shielding the alien child with her body. The pain was indescribable, like every cell in her body was on fire. Maya. Nova's anguished cry cut through the agony. She felt small hands on her face, and suddenly the pain vanished. Maya opened her eyes to see Nova glowing with a radiance that put the stars to shame. The alien child helped her to her feet, and Maya was shocked to realize she felt stronger than ever before. I'm done hiding, Nova said, its voice echoing with power. I'm done being afraid. What happened next was beyond Maya's ability to fully comprehend. Nova reached out, not with its hands, but with its mind, connecting with every being in the complex, human, Lightbringer, and even the Shadowkin troops. Through that connection, a wave of empathy and understanding flowed. The Shadowkin Overlord howled in rage and fear, lashing out with everything it had. But it was too late. One by one, the Shadowkin began to lower their weapons, confusion and then wonder spreading across their features as they experienced true connection for the first time in eons. No, the Overlord shrieked. I am your master. You will obey. But the Overlord's commands fell on deaf ears. The Shadowkin, experiencing true empathy and connection for the first time in eons, began to rebel against their master's cruel dominion. Maya watched in awe as Nova, this small being she had rescued from a crashed ship, reshaped the very fabric of reality around them. The alien child's power radiated outward, a beacon of hope and understanding that cut through the Overlord's darkness like a supernova. This ends now, Nova declared, its voice resonating with otherworldly authority. No more conquest, no more fear. It's time to remember who you truly are. The Overlord let out a bone-chilling shriek as Nova's light engulfed it. For a moment, the chamber was filled with blinding radiance. When it faded, the massive crystal had shattered, and where the Overlord once stood was a small, frail-looking being. Maya approached cautiously, her weapon at the ready. The creature looked up at her with eyes that held eons of pain and loneliness. What have you done to me? It asked, its voice barely a whisper. Nova stepped forward, placing a gentle hand on the former Overlord's shoulder. I've given you a second chance. A chance to remember the beauty of connection, of being part of something greater than yourself. As the gravity of their victory began to sink in, reports flooded in from around the world. The Shadowkin forces were standing down, many of them looking as lost and confused as their former leader. Zora's voice crackled over the comms, breathless with excitement. "Maya, you're not going to believe this. It's happening everywhere. The Shadowkin, they're surrendering. Whatever you and Nova did down there, it worked." Maya felt a wave of relief wash over her. They had done it. Against all odds, they had saved not just Earth, but countless worlds across the galaxy from the Shadowkin threat. As the cleanup began and the long process of healing started, Maya found a quiet moment with Nova. They stood together, watching the Antarctic sun peek over the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant hues of pink and gold. "You did it, kiddo," Maya said softly, her voice thick with emotion. "You saved us all." Nova looked up at her, those silver eyes filled with wisdom far beyond its years. "We did it together, Maya. All of us. That's the lesson the Shadowkin forgot. True strength comes from unity, from connection, not domination." Maya pulled Nova into a tight hug, marveling at how this strange journey had brought them together. A human and an alien, two beings from different worlds, now bonded as family. In the days that followed, the world struggled to come to terms with the reality of alien life and the averted invasion. There were challenges ahead, helping the reformed Shadowkin integrate into galactic society, advancing human technology to prepare for future threats, and building a new era of cooperation between species. But as Maya watched Nova playing with both human and alien children, their laughter echoing across the Resistance base, she felt a profound sense of hope. They had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, not just as individuals or as a species, but as part of a vast, interconnected cosmos. The road ahead would not be easy, but they would face it together, human, alien, and everything in between. And in that unity, they would find the strength to overcome any obstacle. As the sun set on this chapter of their adventure, Maya knew that the true journey was just beginning. With Nova by her side and a galaxy of newfound allies at their back, she was ready to face whatever challenges the universe had in store. The stars beckoned, full of mystery and promise. And this time, humanity would meet them not with fear, but with open arms and open hearts. "Ready for our next adventure?" Maya asked, holding out her hand to Nova. The alien child grinned, taking her hand without hesitation. "Always." Together, they stepped forward into a future bright with possibility, their bond a testament to the incredible potential that exists when beings from different worlds come together in friendship and love. As they walked, Maya couldn't help but reflect on how far they'd come. From that fateful moment when she discovered Nova's crashed ship to now, standing on the brink of a new era for both their species. It was a journey that had changed her, changed them all, in ways she never could have imagined. The universe, she realized, was far more vast and wondrous than humanity had ever dreamed. And now, thanks to the courage of a small alien child and the unbreakable spirit of those who fought alongside them, that universe was open to them in all its infinite possibility. Whatever came next, they would face it together. A family forged in the fires of adversity, bound by love that transcended the very stars themselves. The end of this chapter was just the beginning of a greater story. A story of hope, of unity, and of the incredible things that can happen when we open our hearts to the unknown. As Nova's hand tightened in hers, Maya smiled. The future was bright, and they were ready to meet it head-on. As Maya and Nova stepped into this new chapter of their lives, the world around them was rapidly changing. The revelation of alien life and the narrowly averted invasion had thrust humanity into a new era of technological and social advancement. Cities across the globe began to transform, incorporating alien technology to create soaring, eco-friendly structures that seemed to defy gravity. Holographic interfaces became commonplace, turning every surface into a potential computer screen. The streets buzzed with a mix of humans and reformed Shadowkin, working side by side to build a better future. Nova, now recognized as a hero by both humans and aliens alike, took on the role of ambassador between worlds. The alien child's natural empathy and powerful abilities made it the perfect bridge between species. Maya watched with pride as Nova addressed the United Nations, its words of unity and hope broadcast to billions across the planet and beyond. "We stand at a crossroads," Nova declared, its voice carrying the wisdom of the stars. "The path ahead is not easy, but together, we can create a future brighter than any of us could have imagined alone." The response was electric. Cheers erupted from the assembled delegates, a wave of hope and determination sweeping across the globe. But not everyone welcomed this new era of interstellar cooperation. A faction of hardliners, fearful of change and clinging to old prejudices, began to organize. They called themselves the Purity Front, and their message of isolationism and xenophobia found fertile ground in the hearts of those struggling to adapt to this brave new world. Maya found herself on the front lines once again, this time battling not alien invaders, but the very human forces of fear and hatred. She led a task force combining human and alien peacekeepers, working tirelessly to protect the fragile alliance they had fought so hard to build. One tense standoff in the heart of New York City pushed Maya to her limits. The Purity Front had taken hostages, demanding the expulsion of all alien life from Earth. As the situation escalated, Maya knew that one wrong move could undo everything they had accomplished. "Nova," she said, turning to her alien companion, "I need your help. We need to show them that there's nothing to fear." Together, they approached the barricaded building. Maya's heart raced, but she trusted Nova completely. As the Purity Front militants trained their weapons on them, Nova began to glow with that now familiar radiance. "Please," Nova said, its voice carrying to every ear, "let us show you the truth." In a breathtaking display of its powers, Nova created a shimmering field of energy that enveloped the entire city block. Within that field, time seemed to slow, and everyone, hostages, militants, and peacekeepers alike, found themselves experiencing flashes of each other's lives, hopes, and fears. The effect was profound. Weapons clattered to the ground as hardened extremists broke down in tears, overcome by the realization of their shared humanity and the beauty of the alien perspective they had feared. As the crisis was peacefully resolved, media outlets across the world broadcast the incredible scene. The image of Maya and Nova, human and alien standing united, became a powerful symbol of the new age. In the months that followed, humanity took its first tentative steps into the galactic community. The Lightbringers, true to their word, served as guides and mentors, helping Earth navigate the complex web of interstellar politics and trade. Maya found herself leading Earth's first deep space expedition, with Nova by her side as always. Their mission, to establish diplomatic relations with distant alien civilizations and explore the farthest reaches of the known universe. As their ship, the Unity, prepared for its maiden voyage, Maya took a moment to reflect. She thought back to that fateful day when she had found Nova's crashed ship, how close she had come to simply following protocol and calling it in. How different the world would be if she had made that choice. "Penny, for your thoughts?" Nova asked, joining her at the viewpoint overlooking the bustling spaceport. Maya smiled, putting an arm around her alien child. "Just thinking about how far we've come. How far we still have to go." Nova nodded, its silver eyes twinkling with excitement. "The universe is vast, Maya. Full of wonders we can't even imagine. But as long as we face it together, there's nothing we can't overcome." As the Unity lifted off, carrying humanity's hopes and dreams into the star-studded darkness, Maya felt a profound sense of purpose. They had saved the world, yes, but more than that, they had opened the door to a future of infinite possibility. The adventure that had begun with a crashed ship and an act of compassion had blossomed into something greater than Maya could have ever dreamed. As Earth grew smaller behind them, she knew that the greatest chapters of their story were still to come. With Nova by her side and a universe of possibilities ahead, Maya Chen, once a lonely explorer, now a beacon of interstellar hope, set her sights on the endless horizon. Whatever challenges awaited them in the vast cosmic ocean, they would face them together, a family forged among the stars. The Unity's engines hummed with power as it accelerated towards the unknown, carrying with it the indomitable spirit of humanity and the boundless potential of interstellar cooperation. As they embarked on this grand adventure, Maya knew one thing for certain: the best was yet to come. The alien child grinned, its silver eyes sparkling with determination. Always. As they prepared to face this new threat, Maya couldn't help but marvel at how far they'd come. From a chance encounter in the depths of space to standing as defenders of not just Earth, but countless worlds across the galaxy. Whatever lay ahead, Maya knew one thing for certain: with Nova by her side and the united strength of the cosmic concordat behind them, there was no challenge too great to overcome. The next chapter of their cosmic odyssey was about to begin, and the entire universe waited with bated breath to see what this extraordinary human-alien duo would do next. The stars themselves seemed to pulse with anticipation as Maya, Nova, and their allies prepared to confront the unknown. It was more than just another adventure. It was a defining moment for all sentient life in the galaxy, and they were ready to meet it head-on, armed with courage, compassion, and the unbreakable bond between a human woman and the alien child who had changed everything. As the mysterious vessel loomed ever closer, Maya took a deep breath, steeling herself for whatever lay ahead. "Let's make history," she said, her voice steady and determined. With Nova at her side, she stepped forward to face their destiny among the stars.